So, almost a year ago, I was watching this video. Go watch his video and his channel, really fun videos and channel. Go subscribe. And then I'm looking to make his video like a month later. And it gave me an idea, what if I made my own little Thomas and Friends Globe Shadow iceberg? And then I was, kind of not, I had Glenville and whole other projects I was working on, the holidays, so I just kind of put it on the back burner. But now, that's what's happening, but now I'm in a kind of weird place between Glenville is sort of being worked on, and I don't really have anything else going on at the moment, so I decided to make this video. And then I can make his video, which is why I like, okay, I can make this now. If you don't know what an iceberg is, then I'll explain. So the most known content is up top, like pretty much common knowledge. But then it goes down to most obscure knowledge that no one knows about. That's basically it. And Eclipse Shadow it was a term originally used for Star Wars characters that the fans care way too much about. And it's kind of just stuck on as like any kind of background character that people care too much about, that are just background characters, are Eclipse Shadow, I think. Let's go here. Let's go here. Oh, probably shouldn't use blue. Just a moment, friends. Let's change this red. Yeah, that's a good one. No. Red. Just a moment. I'm gonna have to make these letters a bit smaller. We have done it. It is done. Enjoy the glory of my iceberg. Well, now that that's done, I guess we, I spent like about 24 hours-ish, doing this. Took me way too long. Found out I didn't have to write everything by hand and I could just type it in. I am dumb. But we learn something new every day about our whole phone and editing that we use for in the future. So yeah, it's probably taking me about 8 months to edit this, aka like a 3-hour video. Got voices, edit this, yay. Well, guess we should get into it. I suppose it does like a 3-part. Quick, before we start, we got a few rules. Thank you, Quiet Connor. I do not know why he's so quiet. I guess I'm normal voice Connor. But yeah, a few rules. 1. We're not going to talk about every single, minuscule detail about these guys, because simply there is not a crazy amount to, some we don't know anything about, like the background engines in the first book, but some of them we know a lot about, so I'm just going to keep it kind of brief, so this isn't like a 20-hour video, because if I went to every single detail, everything to ever know about this character, we would be here for days. No joke. And I'm not spending that much time editing. No. So yeah, we're gonna keep it kind of brief. Hopefully this isn't a 3-hour video. If it is, I might split into 3 parts, which hopefully we don't do that, because, yeah, also, we're not going to go into any theories, like Bertram and Smudge being the same character, which they're not. They are not the same. They're not one and the same. That's imposter. That is not true. Again, yeah, you get my little iceberg here with all, I hope you can read this. Literally just found out that you can type words onto a picture. I literally spent 24 hours painstakingly drawing them when I could just do that, so we live and learn. Let's begin.
The Diesels took him to the large smelter shed.
Now, Stepney is the only one on this list. I'm not entirely sure if they even count as a background Globe Show character, but because they are very famous, but we'll get into that. Stepney is actually based off a real engine that some people don't know. I did not know that, but he is based off a real locomotive that works on the Bluebell Railway, and he appears in the book Stepney the Bluebell Engine, which kind of comes to sort of helps around. They have that one illustration that everyone loves of the dead trains, normal railway service stuff. Book 18, by the way, if I didn't say that. And I don't know, I think this was the Bluebell Railway wanting to promote itself, but it might have been obvious, like, hey, Stepney, let's put him in our series, why not? Stepney also appears in the model series, and honestly, this is a picture that there are a lot of Stepney YouTubers I watch, and more than I don't, and honestly, really cool guy. And the story is completely different for this guy. So apparently he was being scrapped where Oliver was. That's like Barrel and Furness. And somehow Rusty teleported there. No idea how that happened since there are no narrative tracks leading to Barrel. So I realized it's actually Killdane, but that's not this or that. But yeah, so somehow Rusty went to go get Stepney and somehow fixed them up, and the two of them escaped. Then he went to the Bluebell branch line on Soto, which may or may not be the same branch line that Henry hopes build in season 5 or something. I don't really know. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's a very fan favorite and appears in many fan stories. And I think this branch line is meant to be the Kirk Rodden branch line, though I could be wrong about that. And yeah, I don't know how Rusty made it Barrel, because that's on the mainland, so no idea how that happened. Anyway, Stepney would appear again in season 5 when he'd be kidnapped by Ari and Bert in the only appearance these two should have ever made, because these guys are just the Grim Reapers of Death, and I love them, but they got ruined, like everyone. But at the end of the day, Stepney was safe because Sir Tom happened to show up at the right time. What were they gonna do to Stepney? They were gonna pick him up with that big crane and throw him in lava? Anyway, Sir Tom happened to teleport in at the very last second and save Stepney's life. And he puffed home, driving over the remains of Gordon and Thomas. He also appears again in season 12, and he got a bunch of pink crap thrown on him. Now, Stepney is the only one on this list. Now, folks, it is time for the debatably first engine to ever reach 100 miles an hour, City of Churro. City of Churro is, again, a real locomotive, and went on tour in the mid-60s, I think, and that's where Duck found him, and then they summoned Diesel. Maybe it was mid-50s, actually. When does that book take place? I'm sorry. Late 50s, early 60s. The timeline's not the greatest in continuity. It's pretty everywhere. But yeah, City of Churro would go on tour, and he would meet Duck. And City of Churro, after unofficially, I don't personally, Flying Scotsman forever. Okay. Hot take, Flying Scotsman's forever. Flying Scotsman's the best, but sue me in the comments. But he would become the flagship locomotive of the Great Western Railway. And again, as I mentioned, sometime in the 50s or 60s, Duck would find City of Churro, and they would talk Great Western all night, which made all the other engines mad, like Edward. When you make Edward mad, you did something mad. You did something wrong when Edward is mad. Also, City of Churro doesn't necessarily have a face. There are definitely some in the comic books and stuff, even though he's dumb stuff for some reason, so the canonicity of this is cool. I do like this face, though, or the Noble Railway face with his little mustache, looks pretty good. But yeah, he did not have a face. So, that's interesting. Also, he was scrapped on Sodor. Yeah, same guy, scrapped on Sodor. Damn. I mean, again, the canonicity of that is also debatable, as there's a bunch of dead Gordons and Thomas and Douglas and Donalds, and even the Markland engine, so who knows. But yeah, wait a moment. This is a continuity error, since City of Churro showed up, causing Duck to be conceited, causing Diesel to show up, but Diesel was already there. That's like that one moment in Red Dead Redemption when you see all the Pinkertons in the background. You're like, wait a moment. They were always there from the beginning. Wait, boys, this changes everything. RP City of Churro. Even though you were literally still alive today in real life, but RP City of Churro. So I just want to quickly shout out Sidetracked by Unlucky Tug. It's still an ongoing series, but yeah, definitely If you want to know even more, like far more information, because I'm kind of blasting through these guys a little bit. So yeah, I'm kind of doing some. I'm still telling you detail, I think, but I'm not like telling you what the model's made of, you know. So yeah, he does that. If you're curious about any other these characters, let's get to Smudger. Best character in the entire show by far, Smudger. Smudger was a green engine that worked on the Mid-Solar Railway, the number 2. I think the second number 2. The first or second number 2. It's debated. Also, he has buffers for some reason, which is not a feature of the Mid-Solar Railway at all. And you can clearly see it is Renee's model with a new face and a big nose. No idea why that's... But Smudger was a green engine that worked on the Mid-Solar Railway in its earlier days. Like early 1900s. Like before Falcon arrived in 1903. But he had constant derailments. We see 3 of them on screen. But yeah, constant derailments all the time. So the evil manager got pretty mad at Smudger and turned him into a generator. And he's still there to this day. It is confirmed Smudger is still there to this day. Well, his remains are. So remains means dead, right? So, yeah, Smudger buried alive. I mean, even you can see like the old shed. Is it? I don't think he's there. Don't think he's there. Also, I want to shout out the movie, the Smudger movie. Great movie. Love that movie. Go watch it. Also, yes, Smudger is Stanley from the Railway series, but we'll get into that. R.I.P. Smudger.
Bulgy the Bus. Bulgy the Bus. Bulgy the Bus appears in the Railway series story Oliver the Western Engine. Even though it should be Western Engines, but that's not the shit that. That's book. Yeah, book 24. Book 24, Oliver the Western Engine. Bulgy was a bus that wanted to take over the railroads and got stuck under a bridge. Which I can see the bridge. Oops, sorry. The bridge is 14 feet 9 inches, which is actually based off a real incident of a bus getting stuck under a bridge. Yeah, he got stuck under a bridge and was stuck there, and then got turned to a hen house. Same thing happens in the Railway series, even though I think this bridge is meant to be on Thomas's branch line, which is terrible. But yeah, this bridge, yeah, Bulgy gets stuck under it, and then gets turned into a hen house, which he is surprisingly happy about. But then later actually gets turned into a vegetable stand, and he gets a happy ending. Well, until CGI. So that's a clean cut. Where he gets brought back. But we're not gonna talk about that, because anyway, yeah, he's a fan favorite character. People love Bulgy. I need his toy. Railway buses, no idea what that means. Bulgy the Bus. Terrence the Tractor. Terrence the Tractor appears in Book 4, the Thomas the Tank Engine or something like that, and it reappears again later on. Pretty cool guy. He helps Thomas get out of the snow because Thomas was very rude to him, but he is a cool guy. And yeah, he saved Thomas from being stuck in snow forever. Appears again in the model series, of course. And there are weirdly like Terrences everywhere on Sodor. Weird stuff. The Terrence is a really cool guy. Honestly, appears in a lot of books. Fan favorite character. He appears in CGI, but we will not be talking about that. I don't know why, but I like looking at that. He's a fan favorite character, He's a fan favorite character, as we said, even though that model looks not like him. And yeah, though he does look, his CGI model looks bald without that little hair bait. He also appears in All Legends Go, but we will not be talking about that. And that did not All Legends Go did not happen. Yeah, he's a Caterpillar tractor and Terrence. Traction engine. So these things are interesting because they are basically steam engines, but on the roads. Also have a fan, my theory is Trevor was the traction engine that brought Stuart to the Mid-Solar Railway, as that did happen. He was brought in by the traction engine, but that probably just me made up. But yeah, Trevor was found, he appears in book 9, Edward, something to do with Edward, I'm sorry, I don't know these names. But Trevor, appeared in Croc's Scrapyard. He used to be a nice, strong pulley engine, traction engine. He was actually based off the real-life traction engine that the Reverend Teddy Boston owned. Fun fact, that one was actually green, and this one, Trevor's black in the radio series for some reason. He would become green later on because of the TV show. And would have interesting looking toys. These toys look completely different. But yeah, would appear in many comic books and magazines, and is a fan favorite. He also appears again throughout the model series, and he likes children. Yeah, just kind of chills around, plays on Edward's branch line, help reconstruct the Nat for Doc. I feel like there should be more big say, but he never actually appears in CGI for some reason. He's kind of there. Cool guy. This is an edit, though it's a really good edit. Why does that look off? What is this? What is this? Something's wrong with that face. Something's wrong. Old Bailey appears in the season 5 episode Haunted Henry. Looks like this. He's a fogman. Pretty cool guy. Then he appears again as a station master. You see, he tried to warn Henry about the viaduct. But, Henry's kind of stupid. Didn't take his advice. Oh, it's a favorite episode, but yeah, drove a bunch of train trucks off the bridge into the ravine below, killing those trucks. They would die, they dead, terrible stuff. Henry, you're a murderer. And he tried to warn him, and they're like, okay, Old Bailey, we love you, mate. We're sorry, mate. We're sorry. So, how will you be the old station master at the Midsomer railway track? He also has a weird... Am I the only one who sees a connection there? They look the same. And he also rides around a little handcart, which is super cute and adorable. And makes an appearance in CGI. I think. Cool guy. Deserves to appear more. Old Bailey appears in the season 5 episode.
Scruffy, their leader, led the chorus. Oliver's no use at all, thinks he's very clever, says that he can manage us, that's the best joke ever. When he orders us about with the greatest folly, we just push him down the well. Pop goes old Ollie. Thomas, Scruffy, their leader, led the chorus.
That's a hit song right there, folks. But, don't mess with Toad Mafia,
Giggle.
We all know how this goes.
But Oliver knew what to do. There was plenty of sand on the rails and his wheels gripped splendidly. He gave a great heave. Oh, groaned Scruffy. I don't like this. Go on, yelled Duck. Well done, boy, well done. Oh, wailed Scruffy. I'm coming apart.
Oh, Scruffy just killed him. They killed Scruffy. Scruffy died, folks. Oh my god,
and
they killed
did.
Scruffy.
Giggle.
Yeah, Scruffy. I mean, look at that. That's not a truck. That thing hasn't moved in years. Almost feel bad for the guy. Yeah, Scruffy is a fan favorite character. We all love Scruffy. We all know Scruffy. And fun fact, he was rebuilt. In the TV series, he was rebuilt. In the railway series, he is much darker. My boy Fred. Look, my boy Fred. We got Rickety. Honestly, like every some truck that's ever appears in this one. We got Ulp, Fred, Scruffy, Rickety, the gang. The higher ups of the truck mafia all chill on Duck's branch line. But yeah, he got pulled apart and he died. He legit dies in the railway series. Even get a Diesel 10 cameo right there in the corner. You can see Diesel 10. So yeah. Now you might be wondering, so they wouldn't kill Scruffy because that'd be too dark. Nope. Because he dies in a completely different way, which you decide which is worse. You decide which is worse. So Scruffy was at a head of a train in the episode Put Upon Percy Season 5. Percy kicked him into the mine, he was careening down and crashes into the mine, collapsing. And this is one of the most haunting pictures I have ever seen. This is what looks like in the show, but this picture, this is haunting. He also has many wooden railway toys, including the old one, which I need. And he appears again in the 2015 Ryan Pack. I do have that model. I do have this model. Now you might be wondering, why did I take this picture at night? Don't judge me. And it's debatable if he even counts as a globe shuttle because he will be appearing in the new show. That's right, Scruffy's coming back. Take along and Trackmaster. So not exactly sure how we should feel about this, but I'm excited. We're gonna see how he kills him. But again, which is worse, being pulled apart, blown up, or buried alive? Sodor Productions. Not really sure he's on this list. You would know in the past I watched him. Didn't like him, but I watched him. But I found much better channels like Oh the Indignity, and he's a very controversial figure in the fandom. I mean, just take one look at his videos. People are also unsure if he puts on that act because he's really a super racist, negative, terrible human being, or if he's pretending for clout. How about you decide?
Family photos that come in the restaurant's tacky frame.
Why are you so negative all the time?
Thank you for this video. From this guy, go subscribe to this guy. I want to drive that model around. He's so cute. Yeah, very controversial figure. Everyone, like, literally everyone hates him. I don't know how he has a fan base, but he is the epitome of the worst dark side of the Thomas and Friends fandom. Also, he messes with... Why can't I zoom in? Zoom in. Yeah, he messes with Unlucky Tug, and Unlucky Tug is the best, the greatest. We love Unlucky Tug, so yeah, screw you, Sodor Productions. He also makes he's a very similar person to a certain Herbert Moon, if you know.
Marshall's boys, Jonah and Eli.
Are they Jews, mister? They sound like Jews.
I don't know. Why?
Why? This whole thing is nothing but a Jewish plot. You do know that, don't you?
I find that highly unlikely, amigo.
Well, I don't like Jews. Or colored folk. Or natives, now that you mention it.
Well, you're a nice, kind-hearted man to meet in a time of trouble.
Kind does not come into it.
Why? What are you talking about?
Why? I bet you like Catholics. I can't stand them neither. Nor women. Fabians, socialists, homosexuals, Asians, or British. Between them, they've ruined this country. Ruined it. It was a good country once. Now people are eating each other, and it's all the fault of the Jewish, British, Catholic, homosexual elite and their ideas. Well, I, for one, won't stand for it.
Have you ever met a Jewish person?
Thankfully not.
Or a British Catholic homosexual?
Not in my store. Oh, I get it. I see you acting clever.
Average Thomas.
Well, let me tell you this. The Jews killed Lincoln. That's why there is a triangle on the money. And they run Europe like one of them Arabian harems. Now they've sent this here plague to kill all us decent folk. Yep.
You, sir, are truly a remarkable fella.
Thank you, kind.
Who does this man like? So yeah, they're basically the same. They are the same. This says it all. Says it all. But of course, we all know how that ended for Sodor Productions.
No! You can't eat me! I'm Herbert!
I predicted the future, people. I predicted the future. Crane Truck J. Well, this video is going to be completely outdated by the time the new show comes out, though we don't know anything. Like, we know that name is now, like, copyrighted or something. So we don't have any toys of him. So I don't, like, everyone thinks he's going to come out in the new, like, this special. Well, he could, but I think he's coming out next year because we don't have any toys of him. We don't actually know what he's going to look like, but he could look like this. He could look like this. I hope this one. He could be a rail thing. He could be a reg. He could look like this, a little truck. He could be a different kind of truck. Here with the Japanese train. But yeah, we don't know. It's gonna be fun to find out. I just put on his list. There's also like two other guys that have been like another crane truck and I think a Neil. But we know less about them. At least we know this guy's a crane and some kind of truck. So we're gonna see, you know, how this We'll see. Time for tier 2.
So basically, I was gonna make this like one super long mega video, which I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like an hour and 40 minutes at the most. Well, I finished up the first 3 parts, tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, and I was realizing my phone's is gonna explode, so I decided to make it a 2-part video. But after downloading those tiers alone, they were about 30 something minutes each, and I'm like, okay, so who wants to sit around for an hour, 3.5 hour video? So I made the conscious decision to make these 3 parts each. So we're gonna have this ending, just to explain it. Tier 3, 4, 5 aren't gonna really have ending, but it's gonna end like that. Um, you'll see when they, actually watching them. You might be watching them before this. Tier 6, I finally have an actual ending for. I just quickly made this little clip to explain. Yeah, so I'm gonna make it because I was talking about like one big video. I'm gonna make it a 6-part video. So tier 1, 2, and 3 are gonna be uploaded today and tomorrow, and then 4, 5, 6 are gonna fall. Currently, the first 3 tiers are completely done, are ready to be published. I just need to add this little clip to the end of tier 1, make it look good, then publish them. Tier 4 and 5 just need music and to be wrapped together, and they're publishable. Tier 6 does not exist, and then the ending does not exist. So I guess it's a series now. It's a series, so yay. Please subscribe. Bye.